Righty on. The you ever find some redheaded stranger and take the top off, drop your spoon in the goopy goodness, and then heat it up so much it vaporizes into a lung full of, wow, that felt great. Well, that was the cannabis extract experience that was just provided by Summit Extracts. So, WTG, SUMMIT, EXTR, ACTS, yay! And all double entendre provided by the provider of the providing commentary, which would be this provider right here. It's funny how there are strains named things like Redheaded Stranger, or Glue Ball, or Jack Herrera, or Donkey Punch. But the cannabis industry isn't without its miscreants, I suppose. And some of those may have gotten into the marketing division. But trying to keep straight all the nonsensy names of cannabis is the only downside to this universe, which is one of the huge ones I left out of the last episode, obviously. Recreational cannabis is available with your state ID and some cash, lots of cash, because we don't take credit cards, because the banks won't take our money, because they say we're too dirty to do business with, at least in front of the community. Okay, so that was a big one to have overlooked. And on that note, what I wanted to discuss here in episode 28, the old birthday episode, was what I mean when I say I could have been any one of you. And certainly that's a little generous, because I do not believe I could have been Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I don't even believe I could have been, say, Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. Could I have been Osama bin Laden? Perhaps. A lot more easily than I could have made it as an NBA player. I recognize that there are some talents I didn't have. I recognize that there are some athletic proclivities I was not destined to develop, or in any way hard work my way to the point of professional acumen. So, could I have been a professional golfer? No. No matter how much I would have played the game till my other interests in life all waned, I could have made it my sole and only endeavor, and I would never have been able to have played at the professional level, because A, I was never limber enough, B, I was never mentally strong enough, and C, I was never attuned to how to be peaceful enough in my own head to play good golf, to play golf well. You're welcome, Mrs. Griggs. And doing so, and frankly, having played the best tennis of my life in the last couple of years, makes me wonder what it would be like to play golf right now. I honestly think I could go out and maybe have a round like a 73 if I just went out and played. Didn't think about it. And that's not even my best round ever at all. I've broken 70 a few times. So, and by a few I mean 3. And once it shouldn't count because the course par was 69 and I shot 69. But the other 2 times count, but they were both at Denver public courses, which is an advantage just being in the altitude. And they were courses I played the hell out of, so how much do I count them? I don't know. And I shot under par on 9 holes several times, like probably 10, 15. But I've only managed to make it all 18 under par, under 70 3 times. Under par, a few more than that, because 71s and 70s can count. But under 70, yeah. And I did it once with my roommate, who was a terrific golfer, and his dad, on a day when both of us played out of our heads. He shot 69 the same day. So it was a fun day. And if I remember right, it might have even been like a couple days after my birthday. It was definitely right in the summertime, so could have been. Or I could be confabulating that little bit of the memory to make it all the sweeter in my head. I don't know. But and now I do remember Patrick sank a 20-foot putt on 18 to make that 69. I got to 2-putt from like 4 feet to do it. God, I remember that now. It was a curler too. Bam, right in the center of the cup. 69, yeah! All right, back to reality here. Instead of memory lane. How could I have been every one of you? Well, could I have been Patrick? Yeah, I had that kind of golf game. Patrick had a better swing and way more skill, and a way better head for golf. So, I wasn't exactly climbing into his cart with the same roll of the dice D&D character sheet. He certainly had better rolls, but so what? I could have worked hard enough to have been as good as Patrick. Patrick could have worked hard enough to have been way better than me. So I'm not saying that at Patrick's best, I could have met him there. But at Patrick's neglectful level of, I play golf now and again. Yeah, I could get to that level with him. So there are plenty of ways I could not have been the people that exist. But in terms of the way you think, the insecurities you feel, the manifestations of actions you've taken in response to those insecurities, the over-secure moments of your lives that have led to the fakery that you're now having to somehow persist as a foundational stone that isn't even really you. Whether you're hiding that you're gay, or you're hiding that you're having an affair, or you're hiding that you're not going to the casino. Whatever you're hiding, I understand those impulses. Whatever you're lying to your spouse, your brother, your mom, your cousin, your coworker, your neighbor, whatever you're lying to your priest about, I've told those lies. And however you've been coerced into behaviors that aren't really you, whether through fear of revealing who you really are to the people who you care about, or going along with the group because, you just don't have you just are more of a go along with the crowd than stand up and say no person. The levels to which you may have fallen in letting some of those things just roll and roll and roll until they're so out of control that there's no recovery model for you. You just have almost enabled a situation to grow into a monstrosity. How many of those are out there? Because boy, is that something I could have done if I hadn't pulled out of the game. If I'd have fallen into so many of the wrong situations, the monstrosity I was capable of enabling. I don't even know if I can imagine the extent of those, because I was fortunate enough to only pull my shenanigans in these little kiddie pools of tide water, where the worst I could do was poke a hole in my own boat, send myself off to shore with a story of how everything wasn't my fault, when I was the only one holding a drill in a boat that had somehow created a hole. Yeah, okay, bro. yeah, that boat, that drill, your drowning story, they don't add up. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Oh, they do. You just don't see how. Even the noble people out there, I feel my noble side. I've done some really noble things. I'm proud of some of the actions I've taken. I'm proud of some of the people I've helped. I'm proud of some of the stances I've taken in the moments when I could have taken other stances, when many, many other people would have reacted differently. I have forgiven at the highest level. And yet, I also have held people accountable to the smallest of slights. I've been petty. I've been disinterested. I've been dismissive, unforgiving. I've been reckless with a capital R. You can even throw a W in front of it all. I've been subservient, submissive, substandard, subliminally affected, submariner, comic book fan. I don't know if I'd go that far, but I have read some of Mr. Namor. I love games. I love social occasions. I love walking through new areas. I love seeing the stars at night. I love being a part of being alive. I love to travel. I love to see people smile. And I love to feel like I'm part of a group of people who are happy. So I could have been all of you too. And yet at times I was so insecure, unsure of what to do next, how to talk to girls, how to be confident when I was super insecure and underconfident and shy. So unsteady, so afraid of making the move that would make everyone in the room turn around, point, and laugh. Just sure I was set up to be the joke, like Carrie, spilling pig's blood all over the stage. And fortunately, nobody came along and said, you know, this little screwed up screwball is the one we should give some telekinetic powers to, so that should he ever be on stage when all the other kids prank him with a sack full of pig blood, he can immediately start slamming doors shut and setting fires. Nope, nobody saw that as a reasonable set of tools to put into my toolbox. And not having those to turn to, I turned to things like, oh, well, you know what people tend to hand out without thinking about? Their trust. So there's something I can abuse. I can lie a little bit here and there about maybe what I've done, who I am, what I've seen. And honestly, I've led a pretty sweet life, so I haven't had to lie all that much about that. But to think I wouldn't embellish my storytelling, oh, boy, would I be saving damsels in distress from fires of the last dragons on earth, etc., etc. When all I was trying to do is say, hey, you want to go back to my place and have some smackins? And in the long run, had I just been this sort of quirky Donkey Kong loving, donkey punch wondering motherfucker that I am, I think I could have done just fine meeting the people who would have resonated to that frequency, because I would have really liked them. But instead I had to go out and force myself into cheerleader la la land, because that's what I was told is where all the favoritism lies. That's where all the winners reap and sow their rewards. Bullshit. Bullshit. Real people are real people. The people you'll resonate in this world are not the people you're told winners hang out with. Those people are wrong for everybody. Those people don't even exist. Be yourself and let yourself attract the right people to your life. That was one lesson I never learned well. I felt it over and over again, but I never seemed to learn it. And I'm not saying I've even learned it. I'm staying in a room full of Megan Foxes. It's going to be hard for me to pick out the Nicole Castelblanco of the group, or at least it would have been. I think now actually I'd make the right choice. But let's be honest, it's drilled into us to be this way, be this way, be this way, be this way, be this way. Then you know what you should do? You should be more of this, because you'll be more this way. You'll be more this way, be more this way, be more this way. And If anybody in this world was a macaw owning a macaw, it was me. Just tell me what to say. Tell me how to ring the telephone. Tell me how to mock the fire alarm. I'll learn it all for you. I'll just spit back what you want me to say. And in that way, I could have been any of you. All I had to do was lead a path that you led, and I'd have turned into you. Because nowhere along the line was I willing to say, this is who I am. I'm standing up as myself in this moment for the betterment of the humanity that was here when I got here. I owe them the confidence to be who I am and not who they want me to be. So yeah, I could have been any of you. But now I am who I am. I even like spinach.